Hey guys, Jonathan Fields from Good Life Project coming to you today with a jam session. This is not a normal interview format. I get a ton of questions about everything from entrepreneurship to mindset to life to parenting to relationships to what flavor bubblegum I chew. I don't chew bubblegum, by the way. To who picks my socks? My daughter. So I figured I'm going to start to mix in just some ideas, some answers to some questions. Today's question comes from Doran, who actually is one of the viewers and an awesome person in our community. That's a question that I get asked a lot. The question goes something like this. There's a lot of mythology out there in books and all sort of like big, hard-driving, especially masculine-oriented entrepreneurs saying, if you want to succeed as an entrepreneur, you need to be like balls to the wall and you need to spend every single waking hour living and breathing your business. You wake up in the morning and it's business, and you don't take lunch and you don't take breaks, and it's business, business, business. You take a tiny break maybe to say hello to somebody, and then you cut out all these things from your life. No TV, no other screen time, no this, no that. It's work, work, work. You have got to die for your art if you want to build something big and extraordinary in the world. And his question was essentially, really? Because I watch TV an hour a night, and I feel guilty about it because I'm an entrepreneur also, and I don't want to have to feel guilty. But should I feel guilty, or is that cool? So really interesting. I'm going to be a little bit contrarian here in case you hadn't figured that out. If you give up every single part of your life outside of work to build something extraordinary, your life will suck. You may build something extraordinary, but you will very likely destroy everything outside of that. And it will also hurt what you're trying to build. So here's the deal. Should you give up watching an hour a day of TV? The answer is maybe, maybe not. I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you is to ask a question. What is that hour giving to me? Is it meditation time? Is it time away from something else? Is it news? Is it something else? One of the things that we tend to do is isolate everything but the work when we're in entrepreneur or artist mode. We're trying to build that thing. Problem is, genius does not come from living in a cave. At least it doesn't come from living in a cave full time. A lot of the times the creative output process happens when you go into isolation and dig down and work and problem solve. But the real genius is about being able to connect dots. So the more dots you have in your head, the more data points that you have floating around in there so that when you look at them, the data points are kind of bopping all over the place, and you become the person who's able to see the pattern, the way that those dots connect with each other that nobody else sees. The genius in art, the genius in business, the genius in entrepreneurship, genius in leadership, the genius in life comes from connecting the dots in a way that nobody else sees. Pattern recognition, but to do that, you've got to have dots. Now, let's talk about the dots. If all you do is live and breathe this one very narrow linear pursuit, your whole life is in there. You don't play chess, you don't do art, you don't exercise, you don't have conversations, you don't play, you don't go for walks in the woods, you don't just completely do things, then all of your dots are going to be coming from a very narrow little slice of the world, right? So that means the universe of data that you now have to try and put pieces together and pattern recognize on a level that nobody else sees, the universe of data that you have to do that, the place that your dots come from is a really tiny place. Whereas if you actually say, okay, you know what? I'm going to watch TV an hour a day because I love Orange is the New Black, and I love this, and it's an art form, and I love the way it's produced, and I love the way they put it together, and I'm trying to put together a production company, and I'm a camera person and a videographer and a cinematographer. Or maybe I'm going to go to the museum, or maybe I'm going to watch something on TV because I love to have mini documentaries, or maybe I'm going to go out for walks. If you start to actually get outside of that narrow swath of data points, of dots coming into your head that just happen in the work and only the work, and start to experience life and art and work and conversations. So you start to have dots that come from all different parts of the world, all different parts of the universe. So now when you sit down, you say, I want to do something astonishing in the world. And a big part of making that happen is your ability to see the relationships between all these different dots that nobody else sees. You've got dots coming from places that nobody else ever thought about. So you have the opportunity to draw from different worlds, different experiences, different opportunities, a massively diverse set of data, dots, to see patterns that nobody else sees because they don't have that same data set, that same dot set. That makes you an extraordinary artist. It makes you an extraordinary entrepreneur. And it gives you a much better life along the way. because you're living, you're engaging with people, with experience, with art. So not only are you sort of, like really digging in, but you are enabling your ability to do higher level work, to higher level solutions, higher level art, by not doing only the art all the time, by not doing only the work and only the work all the time, but by actually deliberately stepping away from it. Now, does that mean the hour a day of TV is the opportunity to create those extra dots? I don't know. Maybe, depending on how you're using it. The bigger picture is the mythology around, if you want to build something big and extraordinary, you need to wake up in the morning and then die for whatever it is that you want to do and do nothing but that until you go to sleep at night, is not only wrong about the thing that you want to create, but is wrong about the way you want to live your life. I'm Jonathan Fields with the Jam Session, signing off.